All right, this is week 31. We are 21 days out from performing or setting up our gear over at iCat Cube. Believe it or not, we've had a tough go last week, but this week we've done some pretty cool things with all the efforts of the whole entire team, especially Dong Su, spending late nights, almost every night, trying to figure out how to power these servos. We did not realize we were going to pull so many volts and amps, especially when they're all five running. So we have blown out a couple capacitors on the upper board and trying to figure out how to get the feather board to talk correctly to the servos and also the LED lights. And so you can see here, Dengsu has created a pathway using a buck converter. You'll see later taking the 24 volts that we have from the batteries and trying to power these. So he's having to do a lot of additional wiring, which we were hoping to not do as much, but just to get the show done, we'll have to readdress, reassess, and then redesign the upper board. But we'll probably have a buck converter going up to power this board without having too much voltage going into it. But you can see testing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 servos one at a time. And you can see in the upper left there how much each one is drawing. So we're well below the 7.2 volt. I think that's, I could be wrong, I think that's what the buck converter is probably aiming towards. And we don't have the string or the fingers on here, so it could pull a little bit more once there's weight added to the servos. So this is just kind of going through the motions of testing this all out. Hopefully we'll get all this set up early next week. And so when we start working with the singers, they understand what the animatronic is going to sound like, and that also can play off of the sound of these. So these are just testing this over and over and over, just making sure everything is good. All right, again, just testing over and over. I think Dunksu's is showing us the multiple ways of reading all the pool of what these servos are pulling in real time. And also Dongsu has designed a case for our bottom board so we can protect it so nothing gets damaged. So this is the rest of the team. Matt and Jason are working on Unreal, trying to get the upper board with Unreal, talking to the LED light. So he has some success going in and out here.
So turn on at 20 degrees, off when it's below 20 degrees, on when it's above, off when it's below.
All right, and this is our first initial test with getting everything running through the upper board, the bottom board working. We did get the servo and the LED all running with Unreal being sent through Wi-Fi signal to the feather board in real time. So this is just another quick test of the servo working with Unreal. So we're getting closer and closer. Just wish we had a little bit more time, but it's forcing us to get this at least to a working condition, hopefully in the next 20 days. So you can see here, I think this is Jason holding, just showing how the script is going through. A lot of issues with sending a little bit too much data out, or the signal. And here up on the board, Jason is trying to figure out how to kind of schedule out the animations and going line by line and getting a good sense of the animation. And here we have a CNC, the last day of CNCing, which I am glad it is over. And then we have painting day, so Friday or Saturday, Friday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can tell I'm tired. I spent painting it, flipping it, and painting it, trying to get everything kind of dark so that way the only thing is really illuminated is the scrim, which will be the spandex, which we'll use binder clips to kind of hold it on the back end of this form. So using almost every square inch of the building doing this. I really like doing time-lapse photography. I know this is like probably 2 or 3 hours and it's all done in like a couple of seconds. So here we are. The office is getting really cramped, but hopefully tomorrow morning this will be super dry. We will probably put these up on the super struts outside to test everything, make sure we're good to go, make sure it can hold itself without falling over, and then we'll make a mark and then cut the super struts. They're about 10 feet tall, so we really need to knock those down to probably a good 8.5 or 9 foot. Just because they're too tall, I don't want them to fall over, but also it's just too high in the sky for what we want. We kind of want it to be kind of low, maybe at mid-thigh, high for the bottom of the scrim, so forth. So this is our upper board meetings. We do go through the code. We usually have Matthew from Georgia Tech kind of look line by line, and we have lots of questions. So this week, well, we were having issues with obviously the power getting up to the upper board, but also communication with the upper board, and trying to pad it so there's not as much data being sent at once from Unreal. So anyways, a lot of interesting conversations, but it is helpful to have Zoom. That way we can communicate what is happening, what is wrong with our coding. So this is a scrim rendering test. I think I may have showed this last week. It's rendering. I think we did 4,000 frames rendering. So I think there's about 15,000 frames that we have to render for the 15 minutes. So we're taking care of that now. And then hopefully Houdini. Midweek we'll have some Houdini overlays and get to see what that looks like. So anyways, this is the cube, just to get a scale of reference, how big the space is, and all the speakers that we'll be utilizing for the performance. So in 21 days, we will be performing in this space for kind of a pilot performance. That's it for this week.